If your wife doesn't touch you like she used to, it didn't start yesterday. It started little by little. And maybe you didn't even notice when. But here's the mistake almost every man makes after 50. He thinks the change was sudden. He thinks one day she woke up different. He thinks something changed overnight. It didn't. It wasn't like that. It's slow death, invisible, and nobody warns you when it begins. I'm 82 years old. When I realized my wife stopped touching me, I thought it was exhaustion, that it was that phase, that it was normal, but it wasn't. It was indifference transformed into distance. You know that moment when she stops asking how your day was. She still asks, but she doesn't ask with her eyes. You feel the difference. Her eyes are already somewhere else. She makes dinner, organizes the house, cleans, works, does everything right, but she's not present in any of it. It's protocol. It's functional. It's like tending a plant. You water it, you care for it, but there's no connection. And you feel that in the depth of indifference. You feel it in the way she pulls her hand back when you touch her. Not abruptly, subtly, like you're not even there. You feel it in the laugh that doesn't reach her eyes. You feel it in the way she sleeps turned away on the other side. Every night, like a ritual of distance. You feel it in the way she doesn't reach out to you anymore, doesn't call to check on you, doesn't text you during the day. She stopped initiating contact. And now comes the part that really hurts. When was the last time she desired you without you having to start it? When was the last time she looked at you with that shine? That one that used to be there. You know why it disappeared? Because she tried. For real, she tried to talk to you before, said she felt alone, eyes full of hope that you would listen. You were busy, or tired, or handling bigger things. She tried again, tried complaining, tried starting deep conversations, tried to really connect with you. You minimized it, promised you'd have time later, that things would change soon, that you were focused on important projects. And the conversations stopped happening. And here's the mistake almost every man makes. He thinks she'll keep trying forever. She won't. When a woman stops trying, the silence is different. It's not a fight that explodes. It's abandonment that grows slowly, without drama, just silent death. She didn't leave the house, but she left you. Now you flirt at gatherings. You seek validation somewhere else. Because at home, you became invisible. And the worst part? The worst part is she knows. Sees you come back smelling different. Sees you louder in public. Sees you seeking attention from other women. Sees you performing virility. And she says nothing. Because she's already given up fighting for you. She just tolerates. Tolerance is worse than rejection. Because rejection is still a fight. Tolerance is complete indifference. Now, if you're single, you worked for decades, built wealth, conquered freedom you never had. Finally, at 55, 60, you have money and time, and you think, now it's my turn. I understand that. But there's something you don't see. You start getting interested in younger women. Much younger women. They talk to you, they laugh with you, they go out with you, and you feel alive again. Then you come back home, alone. The house is silent, completely silent. The coldness of that silence after the noise, after the laughter, after the sparkle. You sit on the couch, and there, without applause, without laughter, without that sparkle in her eyes, You feel it. That emptiness, that loneliness money can't fill. The money opened the door. The conversation was brilliant. She smiled for real. She touched your arm for real. But real desire, what you are actually looking for, that emptiness you are trying to fill, it wasn't there. And you know it. In the silence, you know it. The moment she leaves, you know it. Because real desire is different. When a woman truly desires you, the energy changes. Her body changes. It's impulse, not calculation. What you see after 50 is often different. She evaluates, she measures, she calculates comfort, security, years she'll gain, benefits you offer. And when she finishes the calculation, she decides. That's not passion, that's a transaction. But here's what matters. Sometimes it's not even her fault. It's just how the game works at this age. It's the economic reality of attraction. And when you see that clearly, something changes in you. If nobody was watching, would you still search for what you search for? Think about that, because that question is everything. When nobody's watching, when there's no applause, when there's no external validation, what are you searching for? What's left? Nothing? The truth nobody wants to hear is this. After 50, the world stops applauding you automatically. You're not the promising young man anymore. You're not the future everybody wants to touch. You're experienced, and experience is silent. For some men, that silence sounds like invisibility, like death. So they get louder, lift heavier, dress younger, talk louder, sexualize everything, flirt constantly, perform virility at any cost. But do you know what they're really doing? They're screaming because they're afraid. Afraid that time has stolen something essential. Afraid that nobody will desire you if you don't prove you're still desirable. I went through this. At 54, after a major professional achievement, I'd enter spaces looking for proof. Proof that I was relevant. Proof that my impact still mattered. Proof that the years hadn't taken my essence. I flirted, commented about women, told jokes about virility, did everything to be seen. But I wasn't searching for women. I was searching for confirmation. And that's when you learn the difference and everything changes. Because when you stop seeking applause, the need disappears. And when the need disappears, real strength appears. A secure man doesn't announce his masculinity. A truly desired man doesn't perform. A strong man doesn't need to prove anything. After 50, real power isn't in displayed virility, it's in depth. In the calm you built watching 50 years of the world. In the presence of someone who doesn't need validation to exist. In the maturity of someone who's made every mistake and chose not to repeat them. Men who age well don't compete with 30-year-olds. They don't need to. They don't measure their worth by the reaction they provoke. When a man makes peace with time, something shifts fundamentally. The energy slows down. The posture solidifies. The voice becomes calm. The gaze becomes sure. And that's exactly when real desire returns. Not as spectacle, as a natural consequence. If you're married and flirting to feel seen, ask yourself an honest question. When did you stop exploring who she is? When did you stop being curious about her? When did you start assuming instead of discovering? If you're single and chasing much younger women to feel powerful, ask another question. Why does power need an audience? Why does relevance need validation from someone who didn't know you when you had black hair? What you want isn't another woman. What you want is to prove you still matter, that you're still worthy, that time hasn't erased you. At 82, I can tell you something maybe nobody else can say with this kind of ease. Men who age with real dignity don't fight time, they integrate it. They look at their age and say, everything I've lived brought me here, and here is good. It's not resignation, it's integration. If what you heard here made you uncomfortable, don't defend yourself right away. Sit with that discomfort, because discomfort is where truth touches you first. It's where you discover who you really are. If you felt ashamed hearing this, breathe. Breathe deeply. Shame is a sign that you still care. That consciousness exists, and consciousness is always the first step toward real transformation. Maybe what hurts most isn't the idea of not being desired, but the real fear of being merely tolerated. The fear that nobody sees you, that you became invisible. And if you have the courage to face that fear, instead of making plans to escape it, you'll never have to prove anything to anyone again, because you'll finally understand you were always enough. That transformation is power. If this touched something you never had the courage to admit, write in the comments just one word: consciousness, because you're not alone in this fear. And whoever named that fear with you already took the first step to overcome it. You aging with dignity is strength. Let's talk.